So, this is me on the day of departure. I always wanted to move away, but I never thought it would be to the other side of the world. Living an hour outside of New York City my whole life, I have always had convenient access to what I considered one of the best cities in the world. Although I thought my bias towards NYC would never change, studying abroad in Melbourne, Australia for the past 4 months has opened my worldview for the better. My arrival in Melbourne made me more excited than I already was, as I was blown away by the views of Australia and everything the country had to offer. I didn't know what to expect, and I had to adjust to my new apartment lifestyle. Eventually, I purchased my MyKey card and started exploring Melbourne, which is conveniently a 10-minute train ride away. I ended up falling in love with the aesthetics of Melbourne, especially at nighttime when the city lights reflect on the Yarra River. I even got to see some of Melbourne's buildings come to life with artistic projections at Melbourne's White Night Festival. After settling in, I only branched out more, mostly to find amazing food places. These were some of my favorite meals, as they not only looked good, but tasted great. Melbourne and its surrounding suburbs offered me so many great options for eating out. But that does not mean Macca's was ever a bad option either. With no dining hall, I also learned how to utilize the kitchen and cook for myself. Besides branching out for food, I became more comfortable in my new environment as I began to see more of Australia and its culture. I went to my first footy game, and although I have never liked sports before, enjoyed the energy of the fans as Melbourne is so sports-centered. I also had my first meat pie, and sadly for my diet, it was not my last. Besides that, I did try some kangaroo, but what has stuck most strongly for me here is Melbourne's coffee culture. A big part of me adapting to Melbourne was the fact that I began to like coffee, which is something Melbourne has plenty of. After getting used to Australia, I was now more prepared for other ambiguities that I would seek to explore. I was able to find my way around Sydney, as the public transport system was familiar to me. I was also more comfortable enjoying Australia's more natural side through the Real Australia trips. I had to deal with the fact that I lost my sunglasses and even joined a dance club last minute, having no clue what I signed myself up for. I got to work out in a fun manner and ended up meeting a lot of great Australians who I would eventually perform in our club showcase with. I also got the new experience of having robots serve me ice cream and had to face a crowd of pelicans. They looked cool at first, but got rather violent whenever food was thrown nearby. At this point, I was comfortable enough to hype up random Aussies and cheer them on their way to the finish line of a walk for cancer. I made a lot of people smile during that event, and it was a really fun experience to be a part of. In conclusion, I might have had to evacuate my building at 1 a.m. and stay behind for spring break because I was too busy being 17, but I got to meet so many people to share my good times with. I got to see a bunch of cool things, and rather than just learning about Melbourne, also learned about Australia's Indigenous history. As if my worldview was not enriched enough, I will be going to Tokyo and Seoul after this program to continue my adventure, and I am confident that I will travel well thanks to my Australian and nuin experience.